Well, wouldn't you know it, becoming a paragon of virtue, really not that difficult. My king, I'm pleased to report that the majority of the population in Branstone has been converted to the old god's faith. Excellent. So I think that gave us the tipping point in piety that we needed. So we are now both exalted among men and paragon of virtue. I think that's pretty fantastic and pretty fitting for Aegon the White Bear. Okay, so we have a little bit of cleaning up to do after the last episode when we arrested the Lady Paramount and Lord Paramount of the Westerlands. They've been in our dungeon for a year, so we're going to go ahead and release them. I'm not interested in keeping them in prison for long. I think that should at least bring them up into a positive opinion of me. Yeah, okay, that's cool. So because they're subjugated, they have a negative opinion. But other than that, they're okay. I wish it may have been better for me to like kill him or whatever, and then try to replace her husband. But I'm not that interested in that. Let them do their thing. We subjugated them. That was kind of our plan, was to have a member of House Bear to kind of maybe eventually combine the two kingdoms. But I mean, they really did it for us, so I'm not really worried about it. I think from here, the next step is the colonization of the Vale. I think that's what I've decided. We'll leave the Stormlands for now. It's just it's in tatters. I'm not that concerned about it, but I believe that you know, after consulting the council and also the green dreams of his son, I think it makes sense for the White Bear to begin the process of taking the Vale piece by piece and making it one unified kingdom once and for all. So there's a little bit that we have to do otherwise in today's episode, but that's kind of where we begin. We begin with a little bit of cleanup. I've just been kind of looking through and seeing maybe what things we can do with our little event notifications up here. We need to designate a regent. And I think the obvious choice, in spite of his age, he's still kicking, he's still going, is Dickon Whitewood. And so we'll leave him as the designated regent for now. And I think it's important for us to remember that his son, or his heir, is Luke Whitewood, and so we need to do our best to ensure that Luke ends up with the best possible situation. He's being raised currently by Edric Weirwood, and we'll go through and check in on all of our created characters here in just a little while. But he is the torchbearer, the standard bearer for House Whitewood in the future, and so we need to ensure that he comes out okay. We'll do everything we possibly can. I don't think I have any family members to betroth in. I don't think that there's any that I could, but I will eventually. I just don't have any right this second. So we'll see. We'll see if we need to find a member of House Bear to marry in, or if we can find a good match elsewhere. And I think that there are matches out there for him to make. So yeah, that's where we're at currently. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of take a look and see what else I need to clean up, and I'll clue you in if we hit any other things that need to be done really quick. But yeah. So one thing that I decided to do with the gold that would have gone towards rebuilding the Heron Hall, but didn't need to, the consensus was that we didn't need to do that, was to actually build a dragon pit. And so went ahead and built it. It's finished now, which is good. Really what that does, my understanding of it was that it would severely inhibit the size, growth, and life expectancy of dragons, and so I didn't want to do it. I would rather have strong dragons with less of a chance of being tamed than, you know, weak dragons that anybody could tame. But my understanding is that's only for dragons that get locked in the pit. And basically what will happen is once Aegon dies, once the High King Aegon dies and we become Valor, the dragon pit will help winged strangers stay in Bear Hall. and give him an increased chance of taming it. And so we can keep the dragons in the family for a little bit longer. So taming chance times 5 is pretty awesome. But yeah, that's the decision that I made through there. It went ahead and it's already built, which is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and put my counselor, my master of coin, back right here in Bear Hall to raise taxes, so that'll be fine. We've actually gained back a little bit of gold from there, which I'm going to use to hold a summer fair once it's actually summer. It's currently winter, even though it's not winter in Bear Hall, so I have to wait until the season changes to summer to be able to hold that. One thing that I did want to do, I wanted to go through and take a look and see, I wanted to look at our created custom characters. Let's wait. Let's wait for Lionel's wife to deliver. She has the pregnancy trait, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'll come right back and we'll see if we can go through these custom characters and see how they're doing right now. Check it out. Winter is finally coming to an end, and our bastard son, who we gave the cadet house to in the last episode, has had a quick daughter. So his son, Aegon, died a sickly child, which is not good. But you know, the next daughter, pretty good, pretty good. So I took the ambition to fall in love after Paragon of Virtue. So it looks like Amara is starting to favor me. That's my bastard son's daughter, or I'm sorry, wife. Let's make a move. Why not? Aegon's an old man. I'm sure he wants to have some fun in his old age. All right, let's see if we can go through and take a look at these custom characters now. Okay, so Sir Lionel of Redshore has a son, Oswell Redhorn. No congenital traits, but that's okay. He has it in his blood to have quick, so that's good. And the attractive trait from the wife should actually make it more, or make it easier to inherit somewhere down the line as well. Let's look. We have Lord Rhaegar, who hasn't had any issues having kids by the look of it. It looks like he has twin daughters that are 7 years old now, and a son who is 6 and is quick, and then another son, another set of twins, a boy and a girl. It looks like the girl died stillborn, but the son was born quick. So wow, 2 sets of twins and a solo child, and 2 quick children for Lord Rhaegar Roman. That's fantastic. That's like prolific right there. Looks like Lord Moose has had a son. No congenital traits either, but John. It's a good name, Moose. I like that. I didn't have any control over that, but yeah. John Roosmont. I like that. It has a nice ring to it, for sure. We definitely need to keep Lord Paramount and Dickon in our thoughts as we go through, because we need to make sure Luke comes up in the right way. But we also need to take a look at Brendan Clove, who has a daughter. I'm gonna assume that that's pronounced Aglatine or Aglatine. I don't know. She's strong though, so that's good. She got your strong trait. It's fantastic. And then we have one more custom character to look at, and then we're gonna go back to Brendan for just a second after that. But it looks like Edric Weirwood has 2 kids. One at the age of 7, who is strong, Emmon, and then just had a daughter, Ellery, who died stillborn. So a little unfortunate, but that's, you know, that happens to the best of us. And it always ends up happening at some point. It's just part of the game, I suppose. But well, let's go back to Brendan really quick. I want to take a look, and one of the things that we're going to do is we're actually going to grant him the dragon egg. Now, the reason for that is because he's in technically Bear Hall, even though he is in the castle of the Tower of Dread. We can build a dragon pit there as well, But the problem is we don't have very many characters capable of hatching an egg, and I believe Brendan has the best opportunity out of really anybody in the Central Kingdom. There's some Valyrians over here that could definitely do it, but I don't want to give them too much power because I don't know how much loyalty they still hold to the Dragon Lords over in Valyria. Brendan, I know, is a loyal subject, and so I'm actually going to grant him the dragon egg. The reason is because he can hatch it. That's really it. I mean, he has the best opportunity to do so. He's strong, he's brave, he's Westerosi Valyrian, and he's of the Valyrian faith. So he should have no problem hatching and taming the dragon. We'll have to see what comes of it, but yeah, those are the custom characters and where they stand now. I do have some. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but there's 2 other custom characters on the way. They're going to be introduced as lore allows, so they're part of the story building that we're doing here in this custom house series, and you'll see them before long. I think it won't be much longer before they make their appearance. But currently there's not any plans to add any more after that. I don't want to be doing that constantly because it can kind of get out of hand if I'm not super careful with it. But yeah, it is definitely something that's going to be a continued part of the channel and of this series in particular, because it's a way for me to give back to you guys for being so generous with your views and your likes and all of the stuff that you guys do to help build the channel. I really do appreciate it, and that's one of the things that we're going to do to give back. But winter has come to an end. We have some gold. We have much to celebrate. The good health of our custom characters, the building of the dragon pit, the conquering of the rock, and the eventual conquering of the Vale warrants a summer fair to help make the peasants a little happier. So I've given the order that a summer fair should be held in Bear Hall. This should make the peasants happy. So we're gonna invest a lot of gold into this, as much as we can anyways, as much as the events allow. And yeah. Aw, Amara has spurned my subtle advances. Oh well. Easy come, easy go, right? So we're going to have this summer fair, and it's basically going to be an effort to increase the prosperity in Bear Hall before we begin to branch out. The woods needs a little bit of a prosperity boost. It's always important to kind of focus before expanding. So the summer fair's archery contest went very well. The clout and space around it was filled with arrows. Some of them had hit the bullseye, some of them had missed the clout altogether. The winner was a modest man who disappeared rather quickly after he collected his prize. So I can gain paranoid. This is suspicious. Or, so he was a good archer, a good poacher as well, I think. So I could get cynical, which is just a trait, not a, or like a temporary trait, not an actual trait that sticks with me. Marshal, find and arrest that man. So I can get, the peasants are upset, which I don't want. Or good archer, that man. I can, Commander Clayson's opinion of me will go up and I lose a little bit of gold. I think if we do cynical, like as a temporary trait, I'm cool with that. It has no negative stat modifiers like the other cynical does. And the only thing is the Temple Vassal opinion goes down by 5, but not super concerned about my Temple Vassal at the moment, so that seems to be the best choice. An errant monk is disturbing the summer fair by preaching about sins and the end of the world. His drivel is frightening some, but most of the crowd around him is mocking and laughing at him. Just another part of the entertainment, I lose 5 piety, and the errant monk upsets the priest, or kick him out. He does not belong in the summer fair. So I'm not going to increase the local revolt risk over this. I'll lose the piety and take the opinion hit. So far we haven't had any good events for this this summer fair. Both of those were kind of a little bit on the negative side. The peddlers were loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls. Wow. The jugglers, strolling players, and other entertainers are preparing to leave. The summer fair is over for this year. It was fun while it lasted. Wow. That was kind of a little bit of a bummer. I don't know exactly what I want to do with that now. Is it because we're not gonna do another one? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do next. We are going to begin the process of preparing our eventual invasion of the Vale. I need to see. This guy's in Andal. They kind of hold the gates right here, Griffin's Peak and the Bloody Gate. Ironically, that's yeah. So this right here is the is kind of the opening line. I don't think they will accept vassalization. They won't at all. So I would have to declare war on them for the dragon conquest. They can still surrender, so there's still hope. They do have 6,000 men and no alliances. They just have non-aggression pacts. So that is kind of the first option. The other thing that we need to do is begin to consider maybe Runestone. This is an Andal King, actually. He can raise up about 8,000 men. And he does have alliances. A lot of alliances. He actually has an alliance with the Storm King. Wow, the High King of Andalos, too. So invading this stretch of land may be a little bit more difficult. Here's another Andal King who has some alliances, but not with the High King of Andalos. And this is a First Man King who has a Dick on Shell is the alliance that he has. I don't think he'll accept our offer of vassalization just because he's a king. That would be the only thing preventing it. Now we did get this Moon's Grey and Strong Song, so we do already have a little bit of the Vale up in here. So I wonder if we maybe call a dragon conquest of Northweald, if he'll just surrender. I wonder if that can be kind of the first process that we do. Leave a comment down below on how you want us to maybe approach tackling the Vale. I mean, this right here won't be that difficult. But I know the Andals kind of like to support each other, so there will be a little bit of difficulty going forward with that if we're not careful. We are currently able to raise 104,000 men. So I'm not super worried about not having enough men to do it, but I'm a little worried about not being able to about fighting a war on two fronts, basically, against the Stormlands and against the Vale. That's the only thing that I would be a little bit worried about. It looks like Andalos, wow, has absorbed most of Bravos. Bravos doesn't technically exist yet. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, leave a comment down below on how you want us to approach the eventual invasion of the Vale. I'm interested to hear what y'all have to say. Let's advance time and see what else we can get into today. Ooh, I've never seen this event before. For some time now, the county of Bear Hall has served as an unofficial training ground for your armies, as there is plenty of open space on which to train and abundant food to feed the troops. A group of senior officers are now petitioning you for money in order to erect an official regimental camp in the county. So yeah, 225 gold gets regimental grounds, levy size plus 15%. Honestly, I've never had that event before, but that sounds kind of cool. We'll have to see exactly what comes of that. I don't know if there's any special event that goes along with that or not. We'll have to see. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. I've decided, as we get closer, Aegon's 60. decided it's time for us to go ahead and use what time we have left to go ahead and begin the conquest of the Vale. So we're going to go ahead and invade right here. They'll surely honor their obligations, of course. Of course they will. We're going to go ahead and raise up our own levies right here. And I'm going to begin to move in the right direction. I believe they'll surrender. If they're smart, they'll surrender. But if not, you never know. So they have raised up their armies as well. It doesn't look like they're going to surrender. So it looks like the Night's Watch is hard-pressed against a king beyond the wall. I'm going to go ahead and accept, but I'm not going to move yet. I'm not going to go up that direction. It doesn't really make much sense for us to do that at the moment. Oh, wow. So the kings in the Vale are joining the resistance, and the Stormlands too. See, we knew this was going to happen. The High King of Andalos as well. So that just means we need to end the war a little bit quicker. Okay, so we're currently fighting right here. Okay, young Estian is developing a kind disposition towards others. So he could be charitable or kind. The kind is okay, but this is my grandson. This is Valar's son that we're talking about. I think we should do charitable, or try for charitable, and see. He's still got kind. Man, he ends up with gluttonous. All of these kids end up with gluttonous. I don't know what that is. Deploy the dragon in the siege. I should go ahead and take care of that pretty quickly. My king, I'm pleased to report the successful siege of the Eyrie. Lord Jared of the Eyrie could not be found, however. So, good work. Send them to my dungeon. Or take them all into house arrest. So let's take them all into house arrest. That gives us 99% war score. Let's see if we can't offer peace from that. He will. He'll accept. Awesome. So that ends that war. I think, anyways. It seemed like that was going to happen. There we go. He accepted our offer of peace. So that's a good start. That's a good start to all of this. I think the next one we'll do will be the First Man Kingdom up there. I'm going to wait for all of the lords to come back into the fold. There we go. Oh, look. The Whitesteel family. So that's this family over here. My Valyrian-looking daughter is... are producing some Valyrian-looking children. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the old council will be reappointed. That's just fine. Need to make sure they're all doing their proper jobs, even though we're about to go back into war. Let's next subjugate King Owen Coldwater. What do you mean I don't have valid Cassius Bailey? I have a dragon, man. Let's see if that fixes itself in just a second. Let's try again now. There we go. Dragon Conquest of Northweald. Good. They'll honor their obligations. And he surrenders. Fantastic. That's what I was hoping for. Let's take a look over here now. So the Kingdom of the North holds Midlore Point and Wycliffe. We do have a first man over here. Let's wait till let's wait till Mega War ends. I will suffer no other king, so he can be Lord Paramount over Northweald. That's fine. Until next time, reappoint the old council. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's the Kingdom of the Trident. Dang it. We're getting close. We should be able to create the kingdom of the Vale before long. And we'll need to figure out who we want it to go to. I think now we should be able to offer this guy vassalization and he'll accept. Good. Smart man. Smart man. Derry is now old gods. That's good. I don't know what it would have been otherwise. Okay, so this guy, Merrill Whitesteel, also has green dreams. That's fantastic, man. I love this. I love this so much. Martial education for the benefit. He's being tutored by Edric Weirwood. So that's good. Hopefully he can be like a good... We'll need to come up with a new sigil for House Whitesteel. I think that's what we need to do. House Whitesteel is going to be maybe not another cadet dynasty per se, but another cool custom dynasty that could potentially be the kings of the Vale. You never know. Let's see what we need. We want to purchase him a good level of education, that's for sure. Apparently there's a siege going on. Oh, those are raiders. Yeah, we're going to raise up all of the lords of the... or all of the men from the Westerlands. Or the Rock, I guess I should say. And go smash some raiders. They're gonna leave like as soon as we get close. Yeah, there we go. Where are you going? I bet they're going to Casterly Rock. They are. They are. That's okay. We'll take them out. They'll get away before long, and then they'll move on. It's always like a game of cat and mouse. You never know exactly where they're gonna end up. Okay, so I know that these two wars are gonna cause like a big upheaval, but I think that's what we need to do. We need to go ahead and conquer Longbow Hall. Is that, or Eastweald is his kingdom. His seat is in Longbow Hall. So we'll go ahead and do that. Dragon Conquest of Eastweald. He's not going to surrender. I already know this. They will honor their obligations. We're going to I'm going to pause the game really quick. Location. The recent conversion of location to Old God. That's fantastic. So I need to raise up just some men. Griffin's Peak. Lady Jaina of the Eyrie. We're going to raise up her men. Am I able to do that? Does she have any men to raise? Doesn't. Okay, apparently I can't raise up those men. I'm going to raise up my men here in Bear Hall. I'm going to take them solo up to Eastweald. And there's going to form a coalition. I just know it. So there's a son of House Snowbear. Good. And we'll take this army up. Yeah, look, the High King of Andalos. You know what? Go ahead. Go ahead and form a coalition. That's fine. I don't care. Our 100,000 men will have a bone to pick with you. I don't think we need to worry about it. A Bravosi, who claims to be a master bladesman, approaches me and offers services in teaching my ward. Ooh, I like it. Do it. Awesome. Even though Bravos does not exist yet. It's okay. Okay, so we'll probably need to deploy the dragon in this battle that's about to happen. Hasn't happened quite yet. There it is. Okay. Matrilineal betrothal has been... So Merrill Whitesteel and Princess Cersei of the Rock. I'm going to decline that because we have plans for House Whitesteel. But we're going to go ahead and deploy the dragon in the battle. And look, the king got burned. Did he die? He did. That's fantastic. And we gained Longbow Hall. He should have surrendered when he had the chance. So all of his family is banished from the woods. Good lord. And Winged Stranger gained maimed. Man, that was crazy. That was a whole bunch of events that happened all at once. Okay, so once the Mega War ends and all of the everything comes back into the fold, we should be able to maybe declare the Kingdom of the Wood, or maybe able to create the title of the Vale. There we go, we can. The Kingdom of the Vale. We can create it. Yep. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we need to figure out who we want to hold that kingdom. And I think it's going to be a cadet house. I think that's a good spot for House Snowbear maybe, or House Whitesteel, but I want your opinion. So I know I had you leave a comment earlier on whether or not we were going to invade the Vale or who we should start with. Well, we're kind of already, you know, done with that. Not done, but we've already started that. So I want you to leave a comment and tell me who should hold the Vale. Who should hold it? What either a cadet house of House Bear or something else. And wow, the woods is expanding. Good lord. Good night. That's crazy. I never expected this, starting as a small lord right here. And now this.